I can't believe how stupid you guys are. They got Dani back. Do you understand? They found the merchandise. The tags were on the merchandise. You didn't take the tags off. They got Dani. What's the matter with you?
I'll take care of it.
I'm tired of this shit. All right, let me tell you something. All right, I've been taking care of you and your mother for so long. I'm tired of it. I've been paying all the bills. All right, and I've been doing, and then you screw up. You've been running numbers. Then I bring you here. Now this is the last time I'm gonna tell you. You understand? Shut the fuck up. And one last thing. Your father, he didn't see the bullet coming either. Capish?
Jesus Cristo, Marona.
No! Let's get the fuck out of here.
Booing and heckling is not gonna take the smile off my face tonight, because we have a new JCW Lunacy champion, the chosen one, Caleb Conley. This is a $100,000 belt. You don't have to like me. I don't give a fuck.
Right now, we got business to discuss. Listen, I booked us in a match tonight. 6-man tag. The three of us versus the Luciano family. We're getting the band back together.
JCW World Order!
Oh, that'll work!
That'll neutralize any situation!
And the key!
Under the skull! Joey 2 times has been unlocked! All the numbers just shifted! Aboard that!
Sally Boy's on fire!
Sally Boy's up in smoke!
Where's my brother? You got him? There was a tracking device in the merchandise you stole. It led to an abandoned warehouse where we found your brother, okay? So you know where he's at? You know where we found him? He's fine. He's on his way here right now, I promise you.
The following contest is for main event scheduled for one fall.
They flew through the air all the way across the ring!
Blindside scores! But wait a minute! Hey,
Well.
This fan, we've affectionately called Hokane, but we've seen her get a little bit too excited, and her place is not up there on the apron. She's not safe up there. He's in a number 1 contender match.
Oh, that was shit. Very bad timing on Hokane's part.
Yeah. She lost control of her emotions, and Bishop woke up without control of his emotions. Death Valley Driver and Bishop has beaten Cocaine. Well, Big Al's had enough with fans overstepping their bounds. Conley is the official world champion, but Bishop was never beaten when he was world champion.
I thought we were past this. I thought this was over.
Over? You thought this was over? Maybe you should stop thinking so much. This isn't over until I say it's over, Dad.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to your JCW Lunacy review show called Insanity. I am your host, Jimmy T. He is my co-host, Nico Brandon, and we are live on the Hamid Media Group's YouTube channel and, of course, on the Patreon after the fact. First of all, I just want to say, happy 4th of July, Brandon. Happy 4th of July to all our American listeners out there. What's going on, man? Did you do anything on the 4th? I mean, what's going on?
I actually had to work today, and man, dude, I'm about to tell you this. Within the span of 30 minutes, I work at Papa John's. In the span of 30 minutes, I had to deal with a customer, an in-store customer, who tried to convince me that what she ordered was not what she ordered, to the point where I even had to tell her, "Ma'am, is that your name on this ticket?" Yeah? Okay, that's what you ordered. You placed the order. Well, I normally order this. Well, sorry, didn't do it this time. You placed the order. We made it. I don't understand what the problem is.
What was it? I mean, is she mentally ill? I mean, what was the real issue?
Well, she had meant to get 3 medium pizzas and an order of 10 and cheese sticks, like the $6.99, pairing deal. But she made a mistake, and instead of 3 mediums, she got 2 mediums and a personal pizza, which is like, that the new Toy Story one that we got going on.
Well, that's not your problem.
Right, and she tried to argue with me that like we did it wrong. I'm like, it's like, ma'am, you placed the order. We made the order you gave us. Like, what are we supposed to do? And she tried telling me I'm not being nice. So I'm like, well, I'm sorry if me being annoyed of you not understanding what I'm trying to explain to you comes across as not nice, but like, you're trying to tell us we screwed up. You placed the order. We made the order. You have a problem with it. And now you're trying to, come at us like, challenging towards us, like
idiots, bro. Straight up. You're always going to have, but look, I guess that's the thing about internet orders too. Because once you do it, that's it. Because now, everyone's making it back at the shop.
That's why you have to double check. You always, before you click place order, double check, make sure everything is correct. Like, that's what you want.
Absolutely, 100%. And just before I keep going, I'm coming off a freaking sickness again, so I just had to cough. So just bear with me, everybody, while I cough. But yeah,
I'm not without sympathy. But at the same time, though, I've been in that situation before where I thought something I thought I'd ordered. Turns out I didn't. But I look at the evidence in front of me, and I go, well, that was my fuck up. My bad. I guess that's on me.
Oh, yeah. Right. Did she end up ordering what she wanted in the end? Did she even take the food?
No, she whined and bitched and got her order refunded.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. That's just, come on, man. That's just wrong. But you know what?
And
customer's always right? That's what they say.
Yeah. And then I had a double delivery. The first half of that double, I got there. It's an apartment building. The dude didn't bother to put what apartment he was in.
What?
Didn't answer his phone when I called either. Luckily, I happened to be right outside his apartment as I was calling him, and he just opened the door and saw me. So I got lucky there.
Shit.
And the second one was I get there, they're not home. They pull up as I'm standing there.
Oh my God, man. This seems like a comedy. But you know what's funny? They already paid for it though, right?
Right. So yeah, so technically, like, that's what the managers usually do is like wait it out a little bit. After a couple minutes, you can't get a hold of them, leave it on the porch. It's already paid for. That's on them. You did your part. You dropped it off. If they're not there to get it, that's on them.
Well, that's what the Dashers do around here, man. They just leave it on the porch. You know what I mean? And that's it.
A lot of times too, like people request it, just leave it. We'll come out and get it.
That's it. Yeah. So, I mean, I'd rather that sometimes. You know what I hate when not to turn this into a Dash show or anything like that, or Uber Eats or anything like that. Yeah, they should pay us, guys. God damn it. But anyway, really, I mean, you know what I hate when you have to ask for a code or whatever. Like, do you guys do that? Like, what's the code?
It sucks. It sucks. It sucks.
And all that shit. Like, so I'm like, just leave it at the fucking front, at the front on the porch, and that's it. Like, I'll grab it when I get it. Just tell me when it's there.
Dude, there have been times where I've dropped off and I got to get a code, and then I got to go find the person to come up, and it's like, I'm losing money.
But Labrat said it best, man. I always say customers never wrong, but not always right. But that's the thing. The whole thing is customers is always right, but you're right. Most of the times they're wrong. But that's just this. That's what we got to work with, right? That's the saying in business. The customer's always freaking right. So it is what it is. You know what I used to do? Funny enough, you guys are gonna laugh, right? But back in the day, I'm talking about when I was a teenager. Now, I used to go to my local soccer team. Not local, like this was in the National Soccer League, so it was a big league, right? It was the main league of Australian soccer, right? And I'd follow a team called South Melbourne, and so I'd go there every week, whatever, right, with all my friends and whatnot. But afterwards, they say we're broke because we're only like 16 years old and shit. We didn't have fucking money, right? We'd have money for like a ticket and just a bit of change, but not really enough to buy like a McDonald's friggin' meal, right?
Right, you're not getting a Big Mac with you're not getting a Big Mac meal with it.
Yeah, even that was back then. It was a lot cheaper though too. I'm talking about late 90s now, right? I'm talking about the late 90s. So really, I should have been able to get it. But
I remember the 2 cheeseburger meal. It was $2.99 at one point.
Believe that shit. Yeah, but see, I wanted a packet of smokes back then. So yeah, thanks. I'll get back to that in a moment. But anyway, so yeah, say we're hungry. My friend told me a little trick back then. He's like, hey man, when you're at McDonald's inside the restaurant, right? And you're eating, right? Say you walk away, you finish your food, whatever. You know how there used to be like the Macca's people, the McDonald's people would come along and take the food if you didn't throw it in the bin.
Right. It's like, okay, you're obviously they think you're done with it.
Right. So I would say I would do that. I would use that as an excuse. And my friend told me to do this because it always works. So I would go up to him and say, hey man, I just saw a friend on the other side of the restaurant, right? I went to go and talk to him. I come back and my food's gone. Like someone threw it out. So you guys threw it out. Yeah, no shit. And every time it would work, man. So that we'd get a free like meal, whatever we ordered, apparently, like for free, because they couldn't really like prove it. You know what I'm saying? So
right. There's a way to disprove it, and they didn't want to get caught up any illegal shit. So like just give them the free food and just
right. Because at the end of the day, they throw all that shit out anyway, right? I mean, shit. Like when you think about it. So yeah, but it would always work, man. And they're not gonna go on the cameras. Yeah, there were cameras back then, but they weren't gonna go into this.
They're not going through the trouble.
Right. They're not gonna bother over a friggin' meal. So yeah, it would work every time. I haven't done it since back then. I wouldn't dare to do it now. Shit. I don't have to do it now. And I wouldn't even try it even if I wanted to. Because it's just stupid. But it worked. Every freaking time. And Labrat, penalties, bro. What can I say? I knew we were going to lose that penalty shootout. Our coach is an idiot too, by the way. I just wanted to say that. I think he's a dope. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that anymore. We're out. That's it. See you later. Australia's back home any day now. But anyway, we're not here to talk about World Cup or friggin' Uber Eats or DoorDash. We're here to talk about JCW Lunacy and what a show we did have. But before we get into that, now I've been sick all week. I wasn't on the wreckage. I was producing for him, but I wasn't on the actual show. Excuse me. And I wasn't on This Week in WWE also. Again, as you can tell right now, I'm getting over this damn sickness. God damn it. But I'm pretty much over it. It might not sound like I am, but I am, believe me. But is there
you definitely you kind of sound like you're on the recovering end of it. Like you've definitely the worst is behind you.
The worst is way behind me, but I'm right at the end. But I'm just sick of, like I was telling you off the air, like I got sick twice in friggin' a month and a half, which never happened. But it happened. But anyway, is there any news that I might have missed during the week that's important enough for us to talk about before we get into Lunacy?
Not really a whole lot of news other than like, trying to report kayfabe stuff as news, but
no,
dirt sheet's gonna dirt sheet.
Dirt sheet's gonna dirt sheet indeed.
They MLW they stripped Baron Corbin of the tag title.
Kind
of like they're so adding a little fuel to the fire of the rumors he's going back to the WWE.
God damn it!
And there was I think there was something on Keep It at 100 where Joe Feeney flat out asked Conan, "Hey, so if you talk to your contacts, is Enzo coming back?" And Conan pretty much said,
"That's gonna happen. That's happening." Yeah, no, I'm glad you brought that up.
And I think what they're waiting for is for Big Cass's AEW contract to to expire before they did it because it just expired like a few days ago.
Right, and it's official that Big Cass, we can call him that again, or Big Bill, whatever you want to call him,
It probably
has
Big
officially
Cass.
signed. No, it will be Big Cass, 100%. He has officially re-signed with WWE. The Enzo part, we haven't got any official word, but
wait, did that just come out?
That came out during the week.
Oh shit! I mean, I knew his AEW contract was over, but I didn't know he re-signed.
Yeah, apparently, that's what the Dirts were saying, that he's officially re-signed. So WWE haven't announced that, but apparently it's a done deal. I believe it is. And on top of that, Enzo has been at the Performance Center for the last couple of months. So, and that's when the rumors really started. And I'm a happy man because no shit. They were two of my favorite guys actually while they were there. I don't care what anyone says. You can shit on Enzo all you want. That motherfucker can talk like nobody else can. I don't care. Like,
the thing with Enzo was I think he rubbed a lot of people backstage the wrong way, and they're looking for they were looking for any reason to get rid of him. So as soon as the allegations come up, gone, and then he ends up being innocent of the allegations.
Yeah, see, that's bullshit. He got screwed. But he's also lucky because, well, I was going to say what happened at Survivor Series, I think. Was it Survivor Series where he, back in 2018 maybe, or 17, whatever, when he was in the front row hiding, and he took over the show, but everyone noticed that he was there. He bought a ticket, literally. Security were chasing him around the arena, and then they arrested him. This is legit. He was literally took over the show by being in. Everyone's like, Enzo.
I kind of sort of remember that.
Oh, dude, it was fucking. I couldn't believe it. Like, I was watching it and I'm looking. I'm like, is that fucking Enzo? Right? Like, I'm tripping because he's trying to hide his face. Like, he's wearing a hoodie and he's wearing, I think, glasses. I can't remember. No, maybe he wasn't wearing glasses. You could tell it was him, but then the fans started noticing it was him. And then all of a sudden, no one gave a shit about the match in the ring. Everyone was just chanting Enzo and shit. And then security were chasing him all over the place. And then he was banned from WWE. So he's lucky he's got another chance. I'm sure he's matured a lot more.
Oh, yeah. And Big Cass has pretty much admitted, yeah, I was kind of young and immature at that time and not really ready for what I was put into, but I finally got it. Big Cass has definitely matured.
I think he married DDP's daughter actually was a real good thing because if Mala was still around, you know, the story about him and Carmella, who's now married to what's his name?
Corey Graves.
Corey Graves, that's it. Hopefully, you know, there's none of that bickering anymore, and I'm sure there isn't.
Yeah, he was with her, and now he is.
Yeah, with DDP's
Lexi Nair.
Yeah,
Lexi Nair
from AEW. Yeah, I wonder how she feels that he's gone to the competition while she's still in AEW. Maybe she'll jump over to WWE one day too. Who knows?
Probably wait out the contract and go over.
Well, you cannot teach that. That's for sure. You can't teach charisma. And Enzo and Cass together is money. I don't care what anyone says. I don't know how you can hate those dudes, man. They're just money together.
Yeah, and having them back refreshed, like older, wiser, more mature, and plus they're not bumped out. Like they still have a lot left in the tank. They have a lot left in the tank.
100%. And they're clean this time. Like, you know, Big Cass had a real bad alcohol problem.
Big Cass admitted like he had a big substance abuse problem back at that point, and he's long since clean of that.
Well, I'm just happy that it seems like they're going to be back. I don't know when they're debuting. When would you debut them? Would you debut them pretty soon?
Saturday night's main event.
Oh,
New York.
Oh, MSG, bro. And they're both from the area. Well, Enzo's from Jersey, but close enough. And Cassie's from the New York area. Oh, bro. Oh, my God. But will they do that on Peacock, though? Keep that in mind. It's on Peacock. And it feels like since they haven't been on NBC.
I really don't think it matters if it's on Peacock because they can just put it on social media and get the social media views and clips and YouTube clips and Twitter views for that.
It's a fair point. Well, now you got my hopes up. So we'll see what happens at Sunday night's main event. When is that? Next week?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
3 weeks. 3 weeks. 25th, I believe.
Oh, okay. Well, look out for that. That's a good timing for sure, man. Labrador says Danhausen said he had some friends coming in. Oh no. Are they really gonna freaking have them come out with Danhausen? Possibly.
Honestly, I think in a weird way that could work. If they're all baby faces and on the same page, that could work. And they just play off each other, it could work. I really think that could work.
Oh God, we'll see. It will be funny for sure. I mean, but you know what? It probably will be Danhausen, as Labrat just said. We'll see what happens though, man. But I'm excited for it. So it gets me a bit excited to watch WWE again. Like I said, I miss those guys together, especially Enzo, man.
Dude, they were good, and having them come back is much more mature, more well seasoned, and the fact again they have like their bump card is still pretty intact, so they got a lot left in the tank. So and they're in their like late 30s, early 40s. Sorry, I'll say late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah,
become like
30s.
the new prime. It's become the new prime.
I think Enzo's nearly 40 at this point, or 40 just about now, and Cass would be in the late 30s for sure. But yeah, no, it's true. It's weird, dude. Like maybe we're saying that to make ourselves feel better. You know what I mean? Because we're not old. Come on. But you're right, though, in saying that.
That is a trend in the wrestling. Like, we're seeing guys like I'll go back 10 plus years to Goldust when he was teaming with Cody Rhodes, and they were wrestling in the Wyatts. Dustin was in his mid 40s at that point, and he was at the best he was ever been, like the best I'd ever seen him.
No, you're right. But yeah, even in sports, dude, there's a lot of sports like athletes now playing into their 40s. And Dan, he's born in Jersey, but he's pretty much a New Yorker. Like, you know what I mean? But anyway, yeah. I mean, it's weird. I don't know if it's the sports medicine or they just know more, like, to take care of themselves. Or they're just smarter. They're working smarter. But, I have no idea. But it's a thing, man, for sure. But can they go into their 50s full time? I don't know. I don't know about that.
All I got to say is Vito is 62. And we'll leave it there.
True. What am I talking about? But see, when I look at him, I don't look at 62. You see what I mean?
No, he looks like he's 35, 40.
Like, how the fuck? Like, you know what? I was talking to him a couple of weeks ago. I should have asked him straight up, what the fuck are you using to stay like that? Is it a moisturizer? Is it Botox? I mean, or is it the new trend? I don't know if you know this.
There's one show on the Russo's brand called Hatches, Heels, and Honeys where Vito's wife Noelle has said like Vito does have like a very extensive skincare treatment. Yeah,
it's obvious. But even his wife, man, looks freaking young for her age too, man, which is crazy.
Yeah, what is she like? Her, I think, isn't she like in her late 40s, early 50s, possibly? I think.
Yeah, she's about. I don't know her exact age, but I'm assuming at least in her late 40s, early 50s for sure. Well, she looks younger than that anyway. That's one point.
If you asked me what I thought her age was, I'd say 35.
Easily. But whatever they're doing, it's magic. That's for sure, man. I hope he feels like he's like 40 years old, even. Hey, Gruss, happy 4th, man. We did say that at the start of the show. We're acknowledging that. But happy 4th,
America, fuck yeah.
America, fuck yeah, exactly. What a perfect time, even with the World Cup. But anyway, whatever they're doing is just, I don't know, man. It's magic to me, bro. I wish at his age I look like that. I highly doubt it. I probably look thrashed by the time I'm 62. But I wonder how he feels on the inside, though.
Let's just say though, you can make physical, health changes now to.
Yeah, it's true. But
I would, and that also equally applies to me as well, because I know I'm making some pretty poor health and fitness choices at this current time in my life. So yeah, that extends to me as well.
Funny. It seems to. I am 62. I'm 72. Nah, but anyway, what was I going to say? It's funny, once you hit your 40s, man, it starts dipping a little bit there, Brandon, for whatever reason. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, no, it's where that's when you kind of that's like the overhill point where things start kind of slowing down. But with I think there's some of these advancements in health and also like testosterone treatments I think that's kind of like giving a little bit of extra, a little bit of juice to that.
Do you think it's got to do with testosterone? Actually,
I think that's a part of it. Not all of it, but definitely a part of it.
because everyone out here, like as soon as they hit their 40s, they all say the same thing, bro. Like it's kind of weird, man. I hate that happens. Why? You're supposed to be just done. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Women have the same thing. You ever heard of something called menopause?
Oh yeah, that's different. That's worse though, dude. That's not exactly the same for the men, though.
Right,
like,
not right now. The same thing of like, okay, like your time of reproducing is done.
men can reproduce into their freaking 70s, 80s, man. It's women
That's true. That's true.
pretty much stop in like literally, like they can't produce. Yeah, midlife, Jimmy T. I know it sucks. Bad. Dan says, I officially become a senior citizen this year. 40 still basically a kid. Wait a minute, dude.
Get me AARP, pal.
No, but Dan, for us, a senior citizen is 65 plus. Like from that point on. I don't know how it works in the US, but what do you consider a senior citizen? What's the age? Like the age threshold.
That I don't know. I don't know. 50. Okay, I was about to say, 55. Yes.
Really?
I was thinking 55.
That's not freaking. Come on, dude. 55 is not like. I don't consider that an old motherfucker. Like, put it that way. Like, that's not senior citizen material. I think 60 onwards is when you start.
I've seen 55-year-olds that could easily take 20-year-olds.
Oh, fuck yeah. Hey, 50-year-olds can still go. Once you hit your 60s, you're like, yeah. You start looking at, you're staring at the barrel of death pretty much. Like, no, I don't want to say that. That's wrong. But you've got another, like, say, 20 years if you're lucky. If you're lucky. Like, come on. Like, we all don't want to freaking go, but 80s is a good run. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be happy to get to that, if I get to that. Yeah, I know, dude. Even in Australia, it's the same thing, bro. It's weird, man. You got to take care of yourself. We're all guilty of not doing that, unfortunately. Like, including myself. But, we take life for granted sometimes, dude. Because, look, I feel great. Yeah, I'm sick a little bit. But technically, I feel great. I've put on a lot of weight, though. But, yeah. 55 is US senior. Wow. It's 65 here, bro. Find that interesting, though. 55 senior citizen. You old man, Dan. Well, if you come here, you're still young. And you'll be in the future. How does that work? But anyway, you're right. Mantis Toboggan, or Bogon, says, I can't believe Jasmine has already passed that mark. Dude, she can still go. I love Jazz, man, but I mean, it spins me out that I think back to her days, and she used to do some rotten shit, bro. I'm telling you. But do you think she gets, like, if you were her, would you get upset that they're always going back to her past, if you get my drift?
Honestly, I don't know.
Because she retired from that a long time ago, dude.
Sure, but at the same time, I think it's part of the things like, yeah, I did it. It is what it is.
She did it all right. I think she's got a record for the most dudes in one. Anyway, like,
get me Bonnie Blue, pal.
Ugh.
Jasmin St Claire versus Bonnie Blue.
Bonnie Blue. What's the other British freaking hoe bag? There's two of them. They look similar.
I forgot her name. Thank God.
Bonnie Blue and they look the same practically, bro. I couldn't tell. I thought that was the same chick. 50 JCW talent. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's not a record, though. There was one at a park back in the day, in the 90s, where I think there was over 100 dudes, bro. But anyway, like, because I knew who she was before she got into wrestling, obviously. But then when I saw her wrestling back in ECW, I was like, what the fuck? How the fuck? You know what I mean? But since then, she actually stopped doing like porn. And she's a great woman, man. Shout out to Jasmin St Claire. Like, you're a legend. That's all I'm going to say. In her own profession and even in wrestling, man, she's been around for a long time. She gets it, man. I got nothing but love and respect for her, for real.
No, she is a as far as like it comes to being a role, a valet and a character on screen, she gets it. She gets it. She leans like she's a tremendous performer.
Well, let's get into
And plus she's been in it before. She's been in the business for what, since ECW?
Yeah, since the late 90s in ECW. And she was doing things like on the independent scene with, do you remember 3CW?
No, I do not.
3PW?
Nope.
You don't remember that one? Well, it was like a ECW kind of indie, but all the big names have gone through there, like AJ Styles, you name it, they've all been through there. But she was a big part of that too. But anyway, let's get into Lunacy though, shall we, Brando? Because we had a big show, and it wasn't so much the matches, because there's only 2 matches throughout the night. But that doesn't matter, because this was all about story and moving everything forward, which I like, man. It's a good change. We don't always have to have like just straight up matches for the Marktards that love their Will Ospreys and their Young Bucks and you name it, all the flippy dudes, whatever you want. I'm sorry, guys, it's not the show for you then, right? But here we got actual story. Like, sometimes what these wrestling promotions don't understand is that you got to let things simmer sometimes. Like, you don't always have to think about, oh, there's got to be a match. We've got to have matches. Nah, man, why can't we just, like, dedicate a show? Because really, when you think about Raw, SmackDown, Dynamite, whatever, right? All those shows are meant to be promotions for the pay-per-view when you think about it, right? You're supposed to, like, promote your pay-per-view through those shows. So they don't have to always be matches. You can save those matches for the pay-per-view, because essentially a pay-per-view is about the matches and coming, to the conclusion of those stories.
That's where you have the long matches to pay off those angles and storylines.
The pay-per-view is the payoff. That's the payoff. You know what I'm saying?
That's what you're putting the money down for. You want to see the conclusion of this chapter or this story.
Right. You know what I'm saying? They just, well, Grass, I'll get to you in that. She could beat you up. I mean, yeah. You're funny. But like Gross says, WWE doesn't let things cook because they have too many PLEs. That's another problem. That's all about the money and all the TV deals and all that bullshit that unfortunately they probably have to do because they're inclined to.
It gets diluted, so you got to multiple, let's say tentpole event shows. Like sometimes WWE they get 2, sometimes 3 a month they have to build to.
That's weird, dude, when they do that. And they've been doing that a lot more frequently, in more recent times. And even AEW is guilty of that. Everyone's guilty of that except for right here. For JCW, that's my point. They have a few big events, but it's not like a million of them, right? There's just a certain amount that, they don't do every month. They do it, I don't know, every 2-3 months, say, around that, which is perfect. Because then you can have shows like this where Lunacy doesn't have to be about matches. It's just all about pushing those stories forward. That makes you look forward to what's going to happen in the future. You know what I'm saying? Then you can have your payoffs. And this is what I love about this show.
And what's great about Lunacy is because they only have, a Strangle Mania and Bloody Mania.
Yeah, there was another special, I think, in between, which was a Lunacy special, but they basically build to and pay, but it's like certain individual angles and stories that they pay off on those Lunacies. That way you're so hooked in on everything else. You want to see where the story advances next, or is this story going to conclude this week, or are we going to see an end of a chapter next week? Right. And that's the beauty of it, man. And that's why it's refreshing again. And this is the Vince Russo style again. Like it really shows, because that's how he loves doing his things, and that's how it should be. Because again, you should use those weekly free shows as, to promote your upcoming big shows, right? Where you do get your blow-offs in the end, but yeah.
Here's a great what I think is a great example of like an old school version of what we're seeing now.
Right.
I went back and watched just recently for the very first time. I went back and watched the program, The Feud, and not just like the match, but the entire story and build-up. in 1983, 1984 in Mid-South Wrestling, Magnum TA versus Mr. Wrestling 2.
Oh wow. I haven't even watched it. You know,
I mean, yeah, like it was 80s and the verbiage and some of like the stuff with like what you see in the 80s, like, yeah, they're cowards, they're chickens, you know, that stuff. Like, but the actual storytelling, the performances from the guys involved, especially Mr. Wrestling 2 and Magnum TA, tremendous. Like, and it was weekly episodic building.
Right. Back then, though, they didn't have pay-per-views in Memphis, though, I don't think. Excuse me.
Now I don't think it was pay-per-views, it's more like big, like live events, like
Right.
like they'd use their TV to build it, like they use their TV to build up these programs, storylines, and angles, and they'd have the big live events. Come see the conclusion of these.
Yeah, they see that's the thing that's missing in most of professional wrestling is that's just the simple fundamentals, dude, that most people don't want to follow. I don't know if it's because they're not patient anymore, or like Labrat says, it's all about the money. We don't mean particularly, right? But it is what it is. But Gruss says, remember when every super kick was a savate kick? Because that's what it really is. It is a damn savate kick. The super kick is a savate kick, like the actual pronunciation of that kick. But yeah, they don't even mention savate anymore. Oh, I've heard it here and there. It's rare though, but they don't actually say it anymore. It's just a super kick now. Tuning up the band. Do you remember when a DDT used to mean you were done 1, 2, 3? Now what? You know, these wrestlers, I hate to say it, and I know wrestlers love saying, right? Well, you haven't fucking been in the ring. You don't know shit. I hate that.
I have, so I have. Well, you know what? I have, so I can talk some shit.
Well,
all you younger motherfuckers are wrong. Dave Meltzer, you're wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Wade Keller, you're wrong.
Why? But why are they wrong, Brandon? Tell them why.
Because they don't understand like the basics of the business and storytelling and being in the business.
It was them that fucked everything up in the first place. And I'm talking to you generation wrestlers, yeah? The ones that fucking, like I said, remember when a DDT used to mean you're done 1, 2, 3? Suddenly that's become a normal fucking move. Whose fault is that? Is it the promoter's fault or is it the wrestler's fault? I don't dare say it's the promoter's fault.
I would say here's where the problem lies. Here's where everything started going wrong. When dirt sheets like Dave Meltzer started getting like, here's what happened. There was people within the business who thought who saw Meltzer as guys like Meltzer as useful idiots to get across.
That's what he is, a useful idiot.
To use as a propaganda machine to get their narratives across. And as that was going on, Dave Meltzer's head starts doing this. He starts thinking he's part of the business because all these guys are talking to me. They think I'm important. They think I mean something. And all of a sudden he thinks he's the shit. And
he still feels he's the shit. That's what's weird.
Like, dude, like there was I'll never forget this. There was a time where it was the final Nitro of 1997. Like, I think it was December 29th, 1997. Where they were in the middle of a program between Bret Hart and Ric Flair. And there's Ric Flair's cutting a promo with Mean Gene. And Ric Flair pulls out an excerpt from the Baltimore Sun written by Dave Meltzer. He actually credits Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer of writing this, that's put over Ric Flair as the man. And he basically saying that, and so basically he put over Dave Meltzer on Nitro simply because Meltzer was putting him over.
Fucking idiots. Yeah, well, look, I'll give him his flowers though. He's a dickhead, don't get me wrong. But he was innovative for back then what he did. Let's be honest, right? I mean, he created this whole bubble in the first place.
Yeah, if it were not for him, we'd not have dirt sheets. That's,
you know what I mean? Yeah, there was people that were doing it before him, but he's the one that made it like people know who fucking Meltzer is, dude, around the world. Think about that.
Because he's a obsessive, autistic, and
Al Snow said it
allegedly.
Best, Al Snow said it best, actually, and I don't know if you remember this quote that Al Snow said.
I think I know exactly which one. I know exactly what you're going to say. Dave Meltzer is the best worker in the history of the wrestling business because he's never actually done the business, but has managed to convince people and work people into believing that he knows more about it than people within it.
You're right. But you know what? Is he wrong?
No, absolutely not. Al Snow is 100% right on that. Dave Meltzer somehow managed to work enough of a section of the audience to basically fund his life.
It's fucking true, man. And like Labrat says, Dave worked the biggest workers in the business. Now, in saying that, that doesn't mean he knows what he's talking about half the time, because he's a fucking idiot. I think basically he took the fact that people in the business were using him to get their narratives and points across, and he used that to kind of get himself over as like, yeah, these people talk to me. That means I'm important. Oh, well, man, the fact that he's still around, people still give him money. I can't be a total hater on it, right? But when
he's making money. He's made a good living. Cannot take that away.
I dare say he's a millionaire because of this friggin' business, dude.
Oh, he's no doubt a millionaire. No doubt a millionaire.
That's why he's the greatest fucking worker, unfortunately, in the business, because he made so much money without having to take a bump. Think about that.
Not one bump.
Not one fucking bump. So, yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah, he can't afford him.
He's a tight ass, bro. He's like this. He's an asshole.
Or what do you even want? Or what do you even want to make? Like, does he feel at home with all those papers scattered around?
Dude, the fact that he's got a son is bizarre to me.
Son and a daughter.
What? He's got a daughter too?
Yeah.
How does she look? How does she look? Can anyone get a picture of? Come on, you guys.
No, I guarantee you
there's got to be some sleuths out there that know what she looks like. And if you do, throw it up over here, man. Send it to me or Brandon.
Oh, she's probably still a teenager.
Oh, is
I have
she?
to guess. Actually, hang on.
Women always like money. I wonder what his wife looks like.
I would say, actually, at this point, I'd probably say she's late teens, early 20s at this point. I have to guess.
She's got to be, bro. Look her up. Well, I don't even know. Yeah, just say Google Dave Meltzer's daughter. I'm not being creepy there, Brad. You don't act like you're not curious now. I didn't even knew he had a daughter. All I knew is he had a son, not a daughter. Look it up. Look it up out of curiosity. Tell me if a picture comes up. Jeez, we're being exposés right now. We're exposing the business, brother. But does she come up in the Google search?
Speaking of Dave Meltzer and his associates, did you hear that Brian Alvarez, he actually is a regular watcher of Lunacy and he thinks it's a good, decent show?
I did hear about that. And it is. But look, man.
I think the reason why is Alvarez knows what he's getting into when he watches it. And when he watches it, knowing what he's getting into, I think he enjoys it more.
Because look, we're not going to pretend that the roster is better than any other promotion. It's not, right? But put that aside. It doesn't matter who's on the freaking show.
It's a fun show. It's a fun show.
Matter. You can get anyone fucking over if you really want to, right? That's a fact. Okay? So the point is, the fact that they can, it's just the way it's structured compared to every other show. There's no better show like this that is structured better. And that's the way Vince does his way. And I'm not trying to be a Russo dick sucker here, right?
Honestly, I think it's a kind of a combination of you have two creative forces who gel and work together so well in Vince Russo and Violent J, and a talent roster ready to just take their orders and carry them out to the best of their abilities. And they're excited and happy to do so.
Absolutely. And Groove says JCW has Dino of mid-90s JCW. Absolutely. Absolutely. As those vibes too. That gritty look as well. It just was better. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the old school ECW as well. But there's structure over here. Look, it's not perfect. Nothing's perfect, right? But it's a wrestling show that gets all the fundamentals done right. You know what I'm saying? Whereas every other show and promotion,
it's plotty and predicated.
It's like they've got amnesia, bro. It's like we've forgotten how to do this, but I know that they can't be that dumb. Tony Khan, I'm not sure. But as far as WWE goes,
I think with Tony Khan, he's more of like learning on the job.
well, that's why I can't say, like, he just does what he wants to do, period. I don't even think he really listens to anyone else's opinions when it comes to storytelling. I mean, he says it himself. He's the one that does everything right now, pretty much. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, the point is, JCW knows what they're doing when it comes to telling a story in professional wrestling and not overdoing shit. But in saying that, how about we get into Lunacy officially? I keep saying that, but we always somehow go somewhere else. But I like that.
We're over 40. Actually, we're kind of over 45 minutes, so we should probably get to the show.
Yeah, we should. But there was a lot to talk about when it comes to why this show is good. But anyway, well, we start off with Big Vito and Sally and Vincenzo. As Vito says, they got Russo back and they didn't take the tags off the merchandise. Sally says he'll take care of it as Vito slams him against the wall and says he's been paying all the bills and doing everything. And then Sally has to always screw it up, but dude, every time. He says he's telling him to shut up for the last time and tells him his father didn't see that bullet coming either. Now, obviously, we know where we're going here. Was
Two
Vito,
McFlys with the same gun.
Yeah, well, that reminds me. Could it be who I think it is? Brando, is it? It could it be? Oh, wait, where did you get that? Brandon, where did that come from, man? That's evidence right there, dude. I mean, look, he's
we got live.
gun.
We got live footage of Big Vito trying to take out Sally Boy.
It's an exclusive, by the way. You won't find this anywhere else, by the way, except for here.
On top of Cannon Tower.
Is this evidence of shooting his own brother?
Brother-in-law.
Or brother-in-law, right? His sister, right? Is that what happened?
No, I think that might have happened up on the rooftop before the show started, and that's what what Vito's referring to. Like, hey man, don't remember earlier?
Right, but did it happen right before the show started?
It's tall enough building, I think.
Well, Labrador thinks it was Maggie Simpson. That's great. Let's remember that episode, actually, of The Simpsons.
And in your dying breath, you fell on the sundial, pointing to MS. But from your vantage, pointing to WS. But from your vantage point, it was MS.
Very nice. But anyway, well, I guess it's a who did it, but it seems like we got evidence about who really did it. I wonder how his poor old nephew's going to take that if he hasn't figured it out already. But anyway, then we see Von J coming out to talk, and he says things happen you didn't expect in wrestling, and then you learn to expect the unexpected. He says that has happened in JCW, and he brings out Jasmin St Claire. Anyway, he says she's 7 months pregnant. I mean, Jasmin says she's 7 months pregnant, and says there's a man in the locker room, Hardy, who is responsible for this. Now, why don't she just come out and... Oh, well, actually, don't worry. Forget I said that. She says someone lied to her and has a slow reaction. She says someone is trying to put a monkey wrench into her plans. She says it's Jay's job to figure out who the father is. And she says she's not wasting her time or career raising a fat piece of shit kid. That's not nice. And if she doesn't want to raise a kid, then why should she get an abortion? Oh, I can't hear you.
So I kind of think that Jasmine might be a little bit more conscientious of that. Like, why should I end a child's life because some dude lied to me?
True, but it's still a kid, man. Come on.
Now, yeah. Now after she gives birth to the kid, yeah, whatever happens.
You see, that's going to be the interesting part. What's going to happen once she supposedly gives birth? And is it going to be a kid? Could it be? You know what I think it's going to be? Yeah, it could be a hand. But I bet you it's not going to be a kid. It can't be, because when you think about it, moving forward, you're going to need a kid, right? Around, sort of thing. Could be a foot. Could it be a dildo?
I just thought of something.
Okay.
What if it's the artist formerly known as Hornswoggle?
Imagine he's the kid though, and the father somehow. How would you tell that story? He's
Time
the
travel,
kid
pal.
and father. I mean, you could do that. That'd be fucking hilarious, dude. If they do that, that'd be absolutely hilarious. Or get another midget as well somehow. Like, I don't know, man, but I know it's gonna be funny. Whatever it is, it's not gonna be an actual child. It's gonna be something. Whether it's Hornswoggle, whether it's a hand or a foot, we'll find out very soon, hopefully. But we do get a few eliminations, but we'll get to that when we do. So we continue on. Where were we? Oh yeah, that's right. We see. Wait a minute. Von J says easier said than done, and says almost the entire locker room has knocked her boots. He then goes on to say, if they need to get the bottom of the rabbit hole between the legs, it'll take extra help. And he says he'll need some serious help of a professional doc he knows, and that doctor is Dr. Fadem. Dr. Fadem comes out, and Doc says he's here to conduct a thorough investigation to conduct who the father is of this little gremlin in Jazz's belly, of course. Doc says he's qualified and he's been working on Violent J for years, and says he has a nasty hemorrhoid in his anus. As Jay says, hey, stop that shit. Like, we don't need to talk about that. No one's here for that. Anyway, the doctor goes on the
HIPAA,
stage.
pal. HIPAA.
That's funny. The doctor goes on to say that Jasmin is beautiful on the surface, but if a true self emerged, it will resemble Jabba the slut. Not the hut, but the slut. That's not nice, Brandon. So the doctor is this guy.
I think he's one they're going to be introducing in as a wrestler eventually.
Well, it just grows up in like 1 month and we move up to 18 years or something like that. Is that possible? Oh, then that's got to be then the real father's got to be someone like a phantom, a purple phantom, or like a PCO, where you can come up with the bullshit like do you get what I mean? Like if you use a bullshit type of like character, then you can make a bullshit baby that grows really fast because of genetics, right? Some sort of freak fucking genetics. Or could it be Scott Steiner, the big bad booty daddy?
About to say, talk about genetics, freaks, talk about the big bad booty daddy. Holla if you hear me.
Oh, dude. The new Dr. Yankum. Oh shit, Diddy T. Wasn't it that? He's the initials afterwards. Buckshot Kid says it will be baby Mosh Pit Mike. Yeah.
The baby of 1,000 gimmicks.
The main young hand thing was after when Russo left. Yeah, I know. We're not saying it's going to be a hand. It won't be a hand, and we know that was during 2000 when that happened with the hand. So
yeah, and everybody involved, including head writer at the time Tommy Blacha and Mark Henry, talk about how enthusiastic Vince McMahon was when he said like, "But it's a hand. It's a hand."
He loved it, right? He was. It's a hand. Get it. It's a hand, pal. It's stupid, but they could make a rib out of that, you know. I think is going to happen.
Like I could see Russo doing that as like a fuck you rib back to everybody blaming him for doing it.
And also, I can see multiple things happening during a pregnancy. You can make a whole show out of this, where first a hand comes out, then a fucking leg comes out, and then something else comes out, like a dildo comes out, and then bang, then we get to whatever freak kid comes out after that. I could just see something like that along those lines where you're like, oh, and then but there's more, and then there's more. There's another fucking. Can't you see that happening? I mean, I can for some reason.
It's the newest addition to the JCW roster.
The Freakazoid. Yeah. Anyway, back to the doctor. He says he will screen more than 50 potential candidates, and he says they won't have results tonight, but soon we will. He says the father can run, but you know what? He cannot hide and should surrender now. Now, when he says surrender now, that doesn't make sense. Because what do you mean you surrender? You saw the line, all right? How does he know if he's the one that impregnated her? If he knows, then Jazz knows.
Well, I think what he's insinuating is like, we'll find out who it is, and it's better if you just come clean instead of having to go through the piss test or go through the DNA test.
But if everyone went through it, how are they going to know that it was them, though? That's what I'm trying to point out.
Well, still got to get through all the results. Like some, like as you saw, like with a certain manservant, he got his results earlier that night.
I know.
But I think like,
but they can't. What I'm trying to say is the dude wouldn't know. So why would he come out clean right then and there? It's like, but we all fucked her, you know? That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, I get you. That is a good point. Yeah, so how would the father know he's the father?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't get why the doc said that. He should have said that. Because that just sort of fucks everything up a little bit. If you want to be nitpicky. It doesn't bother me. But I'm just saying, like, it stands out. But in saying that, I reckon, I don't know who the father's going to be, but we're going to have a whole weird, maybe because they all went eater, right? It'll be a freak kid, some sort of freak. Maybe it's cocaine. Who knows? Maybe it's baby cane. I have no idea. But when we do find out, it's going to be hilarious as hell. That's for sure. But speaking of cocaine,
I kind of threw as a rib. I kind of threw out there that the just as a rib that the father could potentially be Giselle Shaw.
Oh, bro, I love that. If that was to do that, but I think she'd get upset at that prospect. Like, think about it. Like, she's pretty sensitive about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'll put it this way: I got done listening to the most recent Vince Russo and Jeff Lane show on Patreon, patreon.com/Russo TWC, where they're talking about the time about Jeff Lane getting involved on camera, and Russo pitched him, what about a love triangle angle? And then Jeff said, as long as it's two women. So Vince said, well, how about Nyla Rose and Giselle Shaw?
Oh. That's what Jeff said. He's like, hell no. Jeff,
yeah, he said yes. He said yes.
What? No,
yeah.
You know what?
Of course, I think it was a rib yes.
I'm a Patreon member too. I haven't heard the shows though this week. But
check it
Jeff,
out. Yeah,
Jeff, if you're listening, and I know
I just listened to the show today. Like, first I think it was a joke. Like, and like just
better be ribbing.
I think it was a rib. I totally think that was a rib.
After here, I'll listen to it after we do our show. But like I said, Jeff, if you're listening, I hope you didn't mean that. But then again, it'd be fucking hilarious, dude. Can you imagine that? And Nyla Rose, see, that's someone that doesn't care.
They need to bring Scott D'Amore on TV.
Oh, God. Come on, man. Now you're pushing it, literally. Well, so because of Giselle, sorry. Did I say Giselle?
Yeah, Giselle's like been in a relationship with D'Amore for years.
Did they break up, though? I'm pretty sure they broke up, didn't they?
Okay, that I have not heard.
I could be wrong, but I heard something along those lines. But Dad says he hasn't listened yet. Well, there's your spicy preview right there. Unfortunately, I don't know if Jeff is here with us. Usually he is, but because he hasn't responded yet, or maybe he doesn't want to. But like I said, Jeff, if you are there, let us know. But yeah, that would be hilarious, man. I hope that something like that goes down. See, I've always said with Nyla Rose, they kind of alluded to it in AEW at the time where he says, because I'll say he's still got his thing, right? He says he's into women still, you know. He also, goes for women too. He's not straight up gay. He's bi, essentially. Like, so they should have made a storyline about him taking all the women in AEW because he's a dude, right? Like, but Tony won't push that. They kind of alluded to it, but yeah, they won't push that. But anyway, like I was saying, we see Hokane, he's in the back praying to a cocaine shrine. And then I don't know what to think of that. It's just weird, which is a good thing. And then we see Mac Davis interviewing Barnabas the Bizarre. As Barnabas says, he hasn't fully processed what has happened last week. He says he hasn't seen Dani Mo in over 25 years and calls her Danielle. Davis says that can't be right because But, and Barnabas says he didn't know it was her, all right? And then he goes on to say that Dani Mo looks so much like her mother. And he also says he has more questions than anyone. He also goes on to say that there's only one person he wants to address, and they'll be in the middle of the ring tonight. Because Mac did push back saying, but
yeah, he did mention the whole thing of like, wait a minute, you've been in JCW together since, for a while now. Like, and he's like, and Barnabas said, like, I always felt there was something, but like I couldn't quite put the pieces together.
Right. Well, if she really looked like his ex-wife, or whatever she was, I mean, I don't know. But it's interesting.
Which honestly, honestly, like, let's just say, put ourselves in Barnabas's shoes and just could he be wanting to be like, no? Could he be? He could have been denying him. He could have it could have clicked and recognized that's my daughter, but at the same time, like, he's denying it to himself because he's still trying to run away from that past. So he in his own head, he's making excuses for himself. Like, no, there's no way it could be her.
Well, yeah, that makes sense, of course. Like, because I know I'd probably be like that if I was in his position, if he hated her and whatnot. But we'll get to that. There's a lot more to that than what we just spoke about. But that leads us to the first match. And I don't know what to really say about this, but it was Sunny Kiss versus Sophia Rose. And all I'm going to say is Sunny Kiss won, and we had Haley J also come out on doing commentary duties.
Hold on, Pooch.
Oh, yeah, and yeah, hold her. She does come into the ring. She celebrates also with Sunny Kiss, and then grabs her Pooch back as she walks back to the back.
And they also have like a double twerk.
Oh, yeah, I don't want to talk about that, but yeah. I will say that Haley J is thicker, as she said. Okay.
Because she's actually a woman.
I don't want to sound politically incorrect here. I cannot stand Sunny Kiss, dude. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's too much for me, dude. Way too much. Like, it's just overdoing it with him. But I don't know, man. Is there a place for Sunny Kiss, you think, like, to actually make money in the business proper? I mean, he has made money. Don't get me wrong. Because I'll call him he or she. I don't even know, bro.
For the sake of our YouTube channel, we'll leave it as it is. And hang on one sec. My dog is frightened by the loud noises. He wants inside. He wants in my room. One sec.
All right, no worries. Go for it. While you do that, I'm going to go to you guys in the chat. How do we address it? Anyone? Is it she? Is it he? Is it shim? I mean, like I said, I don't want to get us into shit, but like, I just don't know how to address it. So that's why I'm a bit weird about it. So I'm going to go back to you, Brandon. I don't know what to say about this match. I really don't.
It was what it was. We'll leave it at that. And unfortunately, Dog Junior did not want to come in and join us, hang out with us. He wanted me to go in the other room with him and comfort him. It's like, I can't do that, buddy. I'm in the middle of a show. Like, if you wanted to hop up here, that'd have been cool.
Absolutely. I love your dog, by the way. But Buckshot Kid says, I said to my kids, it's a guy. Well, it's a guy. There it is. Well, he's a guy. I mean,
yeah. If you're watching that with your kids, it's kind of how you have to explain it. And I can say this, and I say this as somebody with that same mental illness.
Right.
Yeah, it is what it is.
That's why you're the best to talk about that than I am. I'm going to say something silly. You know what I mean? And unintentionally. But that's a good point you bring up, Buckshot, because how do you explain that to your kids? Really? Because what they're looking... Actually, from your kids' eyes, did they see a female or a male, first and foremost? That's what I want to know, because that's interesting. Labrador says, Sonny has said to call him what you feel, but don't be disrespectful. Years ago, I don't know if he changed his mind, though. Yeah, I don't know either, dude. I don't know. But all I'm going to say is Sunny Kiss won. That's that. And how about we just right along? Because we see Mac Davis once again, though, Brando, saying he's looking for someone in the bathroom and finds Big Al, as he always does for the most part. She's always in the bathroom. You know.
And in a weird way, it seems like Mac was being a bro here. Like he's like letting Big Al know what's going on. Like, hey, like you should go check this out because this bitch is crazy.
Is he a bit of a snitch at this point? He's snitching on everybody.
I mean, yeah, you can make that argument, but at least in this situation, it did kind of seem like he was kind of being a bro, like seriously, like this chick's crazy. You need to see this.
Well,
I thought he was doing it for like Big Al's benefit. Like seriously, this chick's nuts. You need to see this.
Well, she's nuts, and we'll get to that with what happens later on. Labrador Mac just identifies as a woman. Come on, man. He's a man's man, Mac Davis. Let's be real now. But anyway, yeah, she's crazy and she's a bit loco, but that's how we like it. Because then after that, we see Sally and Vincenzo talking once again. Sally asks if he heard what Vito said about his papa, his dad. As Vito comes in and tells Sally to stop complaining and says all he does is moan and bitch. Sally says he's out of here, and Vito says, no, he's not. Oh, no, you're not, sorry. He tells him to grow up or get out.
And Sally Boy had a great line here where like his retort back to Vito was this, hey, I'm about to go take a piss. You want to come with?
Right, I was just about to say that. And then Vito yells at Vito says, stop being a wise guy, whatever the fuck he said then. And then Vito yells at Vincenzo and says he'll be on the first plane back to Sicily and tells him to aboard and go. And that's that. Which leads us to our second match and final match, pretty much of the evening. I'm sorry. It's not our final match. It's the second match. We've got another match. So 3 matches, technically. I always had 2 in my head. But that is for the JCW Tag Team titles between Millie Mac and Too Tough Tony, your champions, versus Chopper City in Bruce Wyans and Atiba. This was hilarious, man. Everyone was in a jovious mood. Everyone's drinking thanks to Too Tough Tony, including actually not the kid in the front row there.
Yeah, and then as soon as he sees the kid in the front row, I was like, oh, pull back.
Yeah. But even the ref had a freaking had a swing. Just about everyone but the kid, which was hilarious. But do you think that's true alcohol? I'm sure it would be.
Oh yeah, yes, that's definitely Bacardi. Yeah, there's definitely Bacardi in there. That's got because if it wasn't alcohol, how would it light on fire when he pours it on his hand?
True. And well, he could have had a different spirit there. And second of all, though, I'm sure someone in the forum, someone would actually point out, no, it's water or whatever it is. It could be sugar it might not have alcohol in it, but it tastes like Bacardi. You never know. But I doubt it. I doubt they'll go that far, though. I mean, come on. But anyway, this match, it was pretty good, but there was a lot of fuckery. And because thanks to the Backseat Boys who come out and cost Too Tough Tony and Willie Mack the championship belts, well, sort of irked me a little bit.
Did not know about it. At least they played it off like you didn't know about it.
Yeah,
and it was done in a way where they didn't see it happen.
Right, that's true. And then they shook hands at the end, which it kind of irks me because you lost the belts.
But the thing is that fits Tony and Willie Mack's character. Like if somebody's like if they get beat and if they get screwed in the beat, but they realize the team that beat them didn't see what happened, they're accepting of that.
I just find that kind of odd. Like, see, what I would do, I'd make these guys full heels, dude, where they're about to shake hands with everyone and just turn. Just like, fuck you. We lost the belts, man. I didn't care if they didn't know about it or not. They still took our belts, regardless. You know what I'm saying? So I'd be pissed in every sense of the way. That's just me. What do I know, though? Like, that doesn't mean that's the right way to do it, but it's just, to me, that's the most logical way of doing it, though.
Yeah, if that was in their characters, but they're like, again, like that's what's been kind of established with Tony and Willie is like they give guys the benefit of the doubt, and if they're convinced, then they let it go.
I just that's just to me. I don't know. I just feel like if I was a champion and I lost my title like that, regardless of the situation, I wouldn't be shaking. I'd be like, nah, man, we want our belts back. If you care so much, if you're a friend, you'd. Remember when they gave up their belts? Do you remember that shit?
I do remember. They gave the belts. Yeah, they gave the belts back to the brothers because they recognized they got screwed.
Keep that in mind now, okay? This is why I think they're going to turn heel anyway, because they've always done the right thing by everybody, right? But here's everybody else not returning that favor though. Nobody. And I think I could be wrong, but why
Well,
would you
here's
do
another
that?
thing. Actually, let me add another layer to that.
Go for it.
Here's the difference between Choppa City. They're new. They haven't they're newcomers to JCW. Whereas
Right.
Yabu and Ruffo, they're a longtime jugglers. They're a longtime family. That situation is a little bit different.
Right, but still though, the point is they still gave up. Like they still did. They're the nice guys, bro. They're two tough dudes that are fucking playing nice all the time, right? And I think it's going to get to a point because why would you add these little Easter eggs, these little signs to me? That point that eventually, look, it could be a coincidence, right? But I don't think Vince plans this type of shit and see if you figure it out. Type of deal where eventually they're going to get frustrated.
Vince himself has said like he will do things where he thinks it might go somewhere, but then it ends up not really getting over, so he just kind of lets it die out.
Well, if he feels it's not going to get over, for sure, absolutely. But I think eventually these two are going to get. Here we go. We got Jeff Lane in the house. Man, I was asking you before, but anyway, this is what Jeff has to say about the whole situation. He goes, that was because they're all jugglers. It's a family thing. Chopper City are jugglers. These are like sports, and Spurs shook the Knicks' hand. They don't kick their ass after losing. Right, I get that. But if you're hearing what I was saying, could we get a frustrated Too Tough Tony and Willie Mack by them obviously handing the belts, and I get it because they're jugglers and all that, to the family, giving up their titles when they won, and then they realized that they got screwed. So they gave the belts, they gave the belts up. And in the end, by them doing the right thing all the time and no one else reciprocating that shit.
Jeff just nailed that. I was just about to say what Jeff just said.
Absolutely.
Because instead of being pissed at Choppa, they'd actually they'd go after the backseat boys.
No,
Choppa didn't fuck us, the backseat boys did, so that's what we're going after.
No, absolutely. But it was like when they won the belts initially. That's all I'm pointing out. I'm pointing out you can go different ways, even if it's unintentional. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, in the end, for me, if they're always playing the nice guys, I would get pissed in the end by saying, like, all we do is we do the right thing, and everyone just doesn't do that. No.
Yeah, and I could see that. Yeah, I could definitely see that being something down the line, but just in the moment right now, that's kind of where the story and characters are at.
And I'm not saying for that to happen now. I'm talking about weeks ahead where they're still playing nice, and eventually they're just sick of being nice, because no one's reciprocating to what they do. They're the fair dudes, right? They're helping out their friends and whatnot. They're doing the right thing by it, but no one else does the right thing by them. That's what I'm trying to say. But anyway, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm clearly off the boat there because otherwise Jeff would have alluded differently, because I'm sure he knows what's going on compared to us, obviously. But Jeff, while you're there, I don't know if you heard me before, but is there potential for a storyline? What's up, Brando?
Dog keeps barking. He wants me to go into the other room with him, but it's like, no, I can't, dude.
How about you pick him up, put him on your lap right now, and bring him here? Maybe he's trying to show you something, Brandon.
No, he's not. Like, the fireworks are going off. He's freaking out. And he wants me to go into the other room with him and comfort him. It's like, I can't do that. You can come in here, and I can pet you and like comfort you, and I'm cool with that. But like, in the middle of the show, bro.
So he won't actually walk in at all?
No, like he's coming to my door, barking at me, and he wants me to go into the other room and lay down and go and comfort him.
He's a funny dog, man. But I like the sound of him, though, dude. He seems awesome. Like I said, I love dogs, but your dog is good. It's a gorgeous husky, dude. It's a husky, right?
Yep.
Full breed husky?
Yeah, ACK.
Wow. Shit. Yeah, they're moody dogs too, by the way. So what he's doing right now is exactly what huskies sort of do in the first place. So it's totally understandable, man. But anyway, where was I now? That threw me off a little bit. Oh, thank you. I'm going to listen to the show, by the way. I'll do that right after our show over here. But I'm glad you said that because that would be pretty interesting. But would you go all in though, Jeff? Like literally all in? Not all in, obviously. I'm not saying in real life. I mean, would you really play it up a little bit where you're in love, or you didn't know what they really are? If you get my drift, that'd be hilarious if that was to happen. Hopefully that happens in the future, though, because that actually gets me pretty excited. But anyway, so yeah, we got new tag team champions, as we were saying, and that is Chopper City. But after the match, as we were saying, Tony and Mac talked to Chopper City, and Chopper City seems not to really know what happened as they make peace. And then we see Vince Russo and Joel Gertner talking now in the back. As Russo says, the check is in the mail, but Joel wants to talk about the cash offer Russo gave him, last time. He says he'll have to pass on that offer. As Russo says, they had a gentleman's agreement, though. But Joel says, when you have money, you realize there's more to the world than money. Joel goes on to say that Josh Bishop is set on having both titles in JCW. But Vince says he's no Paul Heyman and says if you mess with him, you better think twice about it. Vince goes on to say, sorry?
Cuckoo, ka-choo.
Cuckoo, ka-choo, indeed. Vince goes on to say that Josh will play tonight if he wants to play games. He says to make sure Josh is ready. What'd you make of that, Brando?
I'm sensing a slow burn Joel Gertner's Josh Bishop babyface. It's kind of seems like where it's going here, especially with the fact that where the main event goes later on. Where we got the main event.
Absolutely. I was going to bring this up later on in the show, but now that you've brought it up, Jeff, congratulations once again, Brando. As we'll talk about this off the air. First of all, I was proud to see you on the watch-along aspect of it when I'm assuming, Jeff, you made these clips with that little promo of all the reactions of Dani Mo being the dealer. And I saw you on it, like I was saying off the air. I congratulated you on Twitter. Okay, that's fucking cool that you're on there. But once again, you made it into the big time now, bro. Not only on Twitter, but you're on actual Lunacy. Like literally on the show. And I was like, what the? And you know what? You did get more airtime than Jeff. And on top of that, you got more airtime than any other reactor as well, which is kudos, man.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
No, I was legitimately like shocked by. That was my real feelings and emotions, but at the same time, though, I also knew like, okay, how can I have a little bit of fun with this and rib like the reaction people?
Man, you're supposed to not talk about the magic, you know. You're supposed to keep that on the low, though, Brandon. But hey, he's an honest guy. I can appreciate that. Jeff also says I made the social media clip, and they use in the video package. I did not make the video package though itself. Wow, even better, dude. They know. I want to say you should be called Mr. Lunacy from now on.
I'll take that. Whoop, whoop.
Maybe Dani Mo, though. I like to. But that was awesome, though, man. I'm proud of you, man. You like you're there, but dude. It feels surreal seeing, not only your friend but your co-host as well. Like on the show you're watching, like it shocks me, bro. I'm watching. I'm like, hey, what the hell? There's Brando once again, not once but twice. So that was cool, man. But anyway, let's get back to the show because Big Al and Hokane are talking now. Elle tells Hokane that Hokane has made a basement shrine to him. She goes on to say that she will get to the bottom of this as Hokane is crazy and someone needs to take her out. We'll see what happens there later on. And then we see Barnabas the Bizarre now coming out to address.
Here's one thing I loved about this. That I really enjoyed when they did like when Al was explaining this to Hokane, they zoom in like right on his face, and you could even through the mask you can see like just from the way his eyes are selling, he's like, okay, this bitch is crazy. I need to keep her away from me.
Can I ask? I don't know if anyone knows, or maybe Jeff knows. I don't know, but when you see the promo, look, there's like a vignette of Hokane later on, like in the show, just midway through the show. When they play like high promos or vignettes sometimes. It's like basically during the little breaks that they have. What's up? Well, there goes Brandon again. But Lambert says, it was strange seeing Brandon on the watch along on my phone. Then he shows up on TV. I know it's crazy. Same here, dude. Like I was like, what the? I spun out, which was cool. Though it was awesome to see, man. I'm like, look at this, man. These guys made it twice. But
yeah, I am so sorry. My dog keeps coming to my door barking because he's freaking out with the fireworks, and he wants me to go in the other room with him and lay down with him and comfort him. It's like I'm in the middle of the show, bro.
All your doors closed, by the way?
Yeah, my doors are closed. He comes up to the door and barks at it.
All right, because you know what, he was scared. Because during that, like when there's fireworks and whatnot, they'll literally run away, dude. They'll jump fences and like, because they freak out. Dogs hate fireworks, man. Like big time. When my dog was still around, he'd be at my feet, literally, like sometimes shaking, like, But yeah, God rest Jack's soul, man. He's missed big time, dude. I had him 15 years. But unfortunately, he passed away last year, man.
That 15 years is a good, solid, healthy time to have a dog. Good.
Oh,
good
absolutely.
time.
No, for sure, man. But yeah, it sucks without him. No doubt about it. I haven't had another dog since. But yeah,
Sorry, man.
That's right. That's life, bro. You should have seen me last year on shows. Like I was breaking down about it. But yeah, man, it happened. It's life, bro. What do you do? Like, there's nothing you do about it, But anyway, what you were saying about the cocaine and the Hokane segment.
Yeah, the way he, like, even through the mask, you could see like he knew he was dealing with like, okay, this woman's nuts, and she's someone I clearly gotta stay away from.
She's nuts indeed. Oh, that's all right. Now that it just reminded me what I was asking you, or if Jeff knows anything about it too. You know when they showed the vignette of cocaine? Did you catch that at all during the show?
The one about his Dank Carnival product?
It could have been the Dank Carnival. But
yeah, the only cocaine vignette I remember seeing was the one like advertising is what he's got on Dank Carnival. THCAking.com, pal.
Well, there's a part of the clip, right, which blew my mind, where he looks like he's huge, bro. Almost looked like it was a different dude. Like he looked like he was on the juice, big time. Like he looked like a tank during the show, man. And I'm thinking, is that the same dude? Like he looked huge in that clip, in part of the clip. Anyway, next time it comes up, just pay attention. You'll see what I'm saying. Because his arms looked massive, dude. Even his head looked big. Whereas now he's like slimmed out compared to that. So I'm just curious, like, was that him? Like, did he ever look like that? Because I don't recall him ever looking like that, but he looked cool like that, that's for sure. But anyway, but let's go to the next segment though, Brando, because we see Barnabas the Bizarre coming out. He says he was forced years ago to make a difficult decision. Yes.
I gotta say, like, big props to both Dani Mo and Barnabas. They absolutely killed it during this in-ring. Like, this was amazing. The performances those two put on.
Yeah, it was good. It was good, man, because it looked like it was legit, They're good.
I bought it.
Dude.
Like I bought what they were selling me.
Absolutely. So did I. Yeah, like absolutely, like a pat on the back to both of them. But anyway, he goes on to say he was forced to years ago to make a difficult decision. He says it affected him and someone near. He says you never escape karma. He says he never expected the dealer to be his own flesh and blood. He says him and Dani need to talk this out right now and ask Dani Mo to come out. Then we see Dani Mo coming out. She says she's waited 25 years to stand here in front of him. As Dani Mo says, he dipped in the middle of the night and left his 5-year-old daughter alone so he could follow his dreams. Mo then asked, if he could do that, how could he do that to his own daughter? But Barnabas responds to that by saying that her mom, Barbara, which popped me, Barnabas and Barbara. It's just funny though.
A great naming. Like keeping it in the bees, long bees, I should say.
Right. It should have been Dani Mo should have been like Barbie or something at this point, but it would have been hilarious if it was. But they'll get too rednecky if you get my drift. But still, it would have been hilarious. Barbara was an amazing human being who he loves more than life itself. He goes on to say that Dani's mom died giving birth to her, which is interesting, which would make sense. He says he did his best until she was 5 years old. Dani Mo then said, of all of this, he brought her back here today. Dani says she's worthy, and
that line right there, where Dani said she was worthy, I really believe like that was her motivation to winning the JCW Women's Championship, because like she kind of in my opinion, this is what I got out of it, was she needed to win the JCW Women's Championship in order to like have something in her back pocket where she can like shove it in her dad's face and say, "See, I wasn't worth walking out. Look what I did, Dad."
Right, absolutely. It was strong words, man, because it would be. Imagine in a real life situation like that. I mean, shit. But anyway, yeah, she was worth it. And that Barnabas made her feel like a piece of shit who was worth absolutely nothing, which was strong words again. Barnabas then apologizes, and then Dani Mo then asks if he's really sorry. She goes on to say he wasn't there and it's hurts her to make his life miserable. She continues on by saying that he's a deadbeat dad. And then Barnabas takes the mic away and says, enough. He says that he tried to take her on the road with him. And this is funny because she was only a kid. She was a brat and he knew it wouldn't work. He says the worst part is that he lost the love of his life due to her, which was strong words again, dude. He says he would have begged Barbara to have an abortion if he knew things would turn out like this. He also says that Barbara would turn in her grave if she knew her daughter grew up to be a selfish little bitch. He didn't say little, but I just added that. Barnabas says if she wants to play games, it's time she introduced the real Barnabas. As he goes on to say that he said he found the dealer. He'd make their lives a living hell. And he tells Dani, welcome to purgatory. And he says,
I love that line. I said I was going to make your life a living hell. Well, welcome to purgatory. Absolutely. I love that line.
He says he did what it was best for him. And what's best for him is eliminating her from JCW. And he says, let the games begin. And that's the end of that segment. That is crazy, bro. Like, that was crazy. Strong words. But yeah, Barbara. I feel like saying Barbara.
Barbara.
Gruss is totally glitching because he's still going savate kick throughout the show. You're a character, Gruss. Labra says that's Dad of the Year material right there. I mean, come on. Shit. What do you expect a 5-year-old to be acting like? An obedient little child?
Right, her dad abandoned her at 5. How the fuck do you expect her to feel and react?
Well, like Labrat says, to be fair, she did get the zombies hooked on drugs, though, Brandon. I mean,
which fuck. I think, honestly, like, in the midst of all this, the people you feel the worst for is the outbreak. They're innocent. They're innocent bystanders caught in the crosshairs of this.
Well, let's play some fantasy booking now because it's just another bell went off in my head. Can we get the outbreak on a pole match? No, I'm only joking. That'd be funny though if we did, since it's Vince. But could they have something to do with this whole thing? Could Dani Mo in the end have total control because of the drugs of the outbreak?
That is definitely an option. Like, that is a direction they could go where
you got a lot of
Dani steals the outbreak from Barnabas. That is definitely an option on the table.
And she becomes like the valet of them. Or does Barnabas end up killing his daughter? Basically, she becomes one of them, like part of the outbreak. Imagine that. Now, see, I'm starting to think deep here. Imagine that.
Or maybe have her drink some of that tonic they found in the, in what was it, Africa or South America, or some of the jungle somewhere out there?
Somewhere out there. I think it was in South America. I could be wrong. I mean, I'll see whatever you can go either way. And you know what? You still have her wrestling if she did become a zombie. You still have her wrestling and shit. You can still have her fucking beat every woman out there, right? But she's part of the outbreak, literally. And now Barnabas controls her. You've got so many ways you can go with this, dude. Like, so many ways.
And you can even have the thing where Barnabas says, like, well, I couldn't have that abortion, but I could make her undead.
Oh my God. Imagine, you know what would be funny? Imagine he said, I wish your mother swallowed you. That would have been even better. Instead of an abortion. Maybe she just swallowed her instead of even having her. But anyway, yeah, I mean,
That's actually a regular insult I used. That's a regular insult I used. Your mother should have swallowed to spare us the burden of your existence.
That is the worst thing to say to someone, though, bro. Straight up. But tell me that doesn't. Oh God, look at that, bro. Drugs on a pole match for control of the outbreak. Jeff Lacey, someone in the channel said, "I bought her now. It's not too late."
Well, see, she's 25. See, how many trimesters is that?
Well, yeah. Well, she could become a zombie. That's how you bought her. You know what I mean? Like, it makes sense. Come on, Jeff. You got to give me that, at least. It makes kind of sense. Like, but it'll be an interesting sort of story, like, idea, though. Like, if you went there, that's completely different, right? I don't think anyone would see that coming. Well, now that I said it, I guess, our guys over here might.
It's in the universe. Let's see what the universe does with it.
Well, let's see. Hey, I'm not mad if it goes that way. It'd be cool if it went that way. But I'm just pointing out, like, you go that way or you go the opposite way. You know, like where she gets the outbreak, she controls them. And I don't know what Barnabas does if he brings someone else into it. Does Barbara come back from the dead and becomes also part of the outbreak? You could do that too because she's dead, right?
Yeah, plus she's a completely fabricated character. Completely fabricated fictional character.
You could go so many fucking ways, bro.
Deucey, give me Pet Cemetery, pal.
Labra says she's only 300 months. I mean, fuck. That's young, bro. She's young. It's nothing. She's only 25. Like you said, 300 months. It's nothing. It's baby. She's still a baby. Compared to us, she's still a baby anyway. But I don't know, man. But I'm loving it. Only because I can see so many ways. Look, it probably won't even go that way, but I don't want to get my hopes up. But it'll be cool if it did. Because you can go so many directions. You can continue on all sorts of ways. You can still even bring Barbara into this shit if you really want. You really can. I mean, hey, isn't Lucha Underground kind of along those lines when you think about it?
Well, I mean, Mil Muertes was literally killed and brought back to life, so why not?
If it worked there, why can't it work here? I'm just saying. Just putting it out there. Anyway, but let's go back to the DNA testing because we got a few candidates that are lining up at the doc's office. I'm not going to lie. I would have loved it if it was Dr. Stevie. Is he Dr. Stevie Richards? That would have popped me, but I know that wasn't going to happen, but it would have been cool to see that because I could just picture him being the doc and him testing everyone. But it doesn't matter because he's still good enough. So we see Stephen Flowback Cross and Atiba are in line and questioning their choices. Jeeves then comes out and he's like parading around saying he's cleared. He thanks God. And then we see Suicide. He comes out.
Which was great because Suicide's Caleb Conley.
Right. But he's looking around like, it's obviously not me without saying a word, which popped me anyway. And then, the doc then calls in Stephen Flo and Cross and Atiba in. We also see Bruce Wyans also coming out. He's cleared from Chop City. And both Chop freaking members, they're like, what, you two? Which is kind of hilarious. But anyway, we see the other three go in. And we get back to that momentarily because actually, before I continue on, is there anything for you to say about this segment? Because this made me laugh.
No, this is good stuff. This was funny. And also, like, this is how you utilize TV time. If it's like a 30-second, 1-minute backstage vignette, you're getting a lot done here. And you're getting several people over. It was letting characters like get TV time to get themselves over.
The whole roster that we see generally on television all the time has a story to tell on the show. That's what's great about it. Everyone's involved, like one way or the other. That's the beauty of this show and the way it's structured. That's what feels great compared to everything else because we don't get that in other promotions.
And you know what's great about this too, about JCW Lunacy too, is if somebody's like not there for several weeks, when they come back, They pick up right where they left off, and you don't forget anything.
Yeah, like Haley J as well. Like she's back. It's like she never left.
Or in EC3 when he eventually comes back.
Yeah. Well,
That's like even though he's not on this like next few weeks because of that tour in Canada when the tapings are happening, he's still in the show. Like still mention him. Like he's still very much a part of the show.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. That's what's great about it, man. And they made those announcements too. Obviously, when they do their little I won't say commercial breaks, but their little promoting of their shows that are upcoming. But anyway, let's go back to Josh Bishop and Joel Gertner now coming out. As Joel says, Violent J and Vince Russo get a lot of flack. He says he's not a 50% owner of JCW yet and isn't afraid to say that there is something holding JCW back from its rightful potential. He says it's the fans, and he says that the people are why JCW can't have nice things. He goes on to say that the fans, all they do is complain about, the new building, and says, get used to it and get used to the changes that are coming. He asks how people who are allergic to money can appreciate big money. Good point. I mean, shit. How can you be allergic to money, first of all? Come on. More money, the better. Or is it more money, more problems? I don't know. That's what Biggie likes to tell us. But anyway, what do you think of that little segment?
No, I thought it was good. And again, I don't know where they're going with Gertner and Bishop, but I'm interested to see where it goes. So I could definitely see like Bishop being like a Sid Vicious type babyface. I could definitely see him doing that.
Yeah, because I've never seen him as a babyface, so I'm not sure how good he is at doing that. But for me right now, he's too much of a smug looking heel though.
Yeah, like but if the storyline ends up being where Russo as the heel and 50% owner, he feels slighted by Joel, he fucks him over, and by proxy fucks over Bishop. It would not be hard for Joel Gertner to pivot into a babyface promo and bring Bishop along with him. I don't think that'd be difficult.
I think it'll be the end of Joel if that happens. I hate to say it. Like if that happens, I don't think we'll see Joel Gertner.
I 100% disagree. If you turn Joel Gertner babyface and you have strong enough heel opponents for him to like go back and forth on the mic with
Joel Gertner is a babyface. Okay,
yeah. If you give him strong enough heels to go against, I think, and him and Bishop, I think that would work.
Well, like Labrat says, and I hate this because I can't stand freaking Dijak in a way, but Josh Bishop is now half of the MLW tag champs with Dijak as the Skyscrapers. What, 2.0? So Dijak is friggin', what's his name?
Spivey?
Yeah.
Spivey, I should say, sorry. Yeah, Spivey.
Spivey is much better than friggin' Dijak. Like, come on. Like, I don't know why. I don't know. I've never been the biggest fan. He's great. He's a great worker in the ring. I don't know, bro. Like, just not the biggest fan of his. And it's nothing personal. I just don't like his character. Maybe JCW in the future, because I mean, it seems like he's going to be making appearances for JCW, can change my thought process on him, hopefully. But we'll see. But anywho, let's get back to it, shall we? Because that leads us to the handicap match between future endeavored Matt Cross and Shane Mercer versus Josh Bishop. See, this is where you can turn him babyface. I'm talking about Josh Bishop, obviously. But then we see Caleb Conley, who comes out. He's also on commentary for this one. And
also, something I got to ask. Anytime somebody comes out of the commentary, why is Veda Scott being the one kicked out?
Good question. Yeah, Jeff, why? Tell us that. Because I think she's good, man. And, she does sound like Renee Paquette sometimes. For whatever reason, thanks to D, my significant other, who pointed that out first, because I didn't hear it at first. Then she pointed that out. I'm like, God damn it, I can't stop hearing that now. Well, Jeff says, of course she was on the end. Next week, she's not on the end. So you're going to get her back full time for the whole show. And anyway, I don't look at it. It's not a big deal. It's at the end of the show, at the end of the day. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, really, she has nothing to do with this match. Not that it matters, but it's more about Caleb, obviously, talking about it than like Vita Scott, obviously. So I get what he's trying to say. Hopefully, we don't get speedball on commentary though. With her. Oh man, but anyway. But yeah, like I was saying, so we got a handicap match.
That would actually be, in a weird way, that'd be entertaining. Speedball on commentary, trying to call JCW, that'd be funny. That would be funny. Him and Gertner trying to call that'd be funny.
God, I mean, come on, man. It'll be absolutely hilarious. But yeah, what did you think of the match?
Now it's a decent match, and I think,
by the way, like with Caleb, and obviously at the end, coming in and doing your thing. But sorry, continue.
No, decent match, and I liked, you know, how it's set up, kind of setting up where Russo was offended by Joel Gertner rejecting his offer. It's like, okay, now I'm gonna start sticking it to you, and they're fighting back.
Absolutely, 100%. But Josh still gets the win, by the way. Josh Bishop, that is, for the 1, 2, 3. But does this make you sort of? I don't want to say like the beginning of maybe a baby face run, but do you think it could be? I mean, look at the signs, right? Caleb is a pure heel.
I mean, yeah. With the evidence we've been presented at this point, I do kind of think that's where I think where it's going, where Bishop and Gertner end up turning babyface because them turning down Russo's offer and then him using his power to go after him, including putting him in a handicap match. You know, that's kind of how you book a babyface.
I can see Bishop joining up with Russo maybe and blaming Gertner, but then that makes him babyface, obviously. I just don't know how you can get Joel babyface in a way. Because of the shit he says.
I think Joel could pull it off. I absolutely think all he's got to tweak a few, like, he can still be Joel Gertner, tweak a few, like, just tweak how he a little bit. I think he can pull it off. I really think he can pull it off.
But when you look at his ECW days, right, he really wasn't doing too much, except for when he was a heel, right? When he's a baby face,
right? But I really believe that, like, if you put Joel Gertner against heels, have him cut those same promos against heels, he can get over as a babyface. I think he can do that.
But he can't take on that person. He's always a chicken shit, even as a babyface. Like, if you look at his history, I'm saying, he's always that chicken shit, even if he's a baby or a heel. Like, when he's a heel, he gets more involved in storylines. I'm talking about even ECW, where he was with, remember, Don Callis, Cyrus the Virus, for example, the network, trying to kick ECW, which was actually not kayfabe. It was legitimately happening at the time with, what's it called, Spike TV back
TNN
then.
At that time.
TNN, right, which was formerly TNN. But yeah. Where's MSG, you asked? GTA 6?
MSG is currently celebrating the 4th. He's with some friends celebrating the 4th of July tonight. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, and I spoke to him earlier. He didn't want to do the show tonight. He's not a permanent member of the show. But he's more than welcome to. I asked him actually to join us this week. But like you said, Brando, he's bopping on the 4th of July. If you want more MSG, tune into the Friday locker room where he's with Ben Hamid week in, week out. Not this week, though. But
and also check out the Yakuza playthroughs streams that are on the Ami Media Group YouTube channel. Whoop, whoop.
And also, there was one more thing I was going to say. Oh, Suck My Balls.
Stack My Balls.
Yeah, Suck My Balls. Well, if you love South Park, he's your guy. I've appeared on 11 episodes on that. And maybe on the latest one, he's been trying to get me to be on that. So look out for that. But otherwise, yeah, man, he will be here and there. I always try to make him jump on. So look out for him. But he's around. But anyway.
And it seems like ever since he moved back to Arizona, he's had a lot more time to, like, hop on and join streams. Like, no joke, like, I think most, if not all live, like, watch alongs I've done this night, he's hopped on.
Yeah, I was shocked. I didn't know that until I was noticed. I'm like, hey, he's up late too, man. He's always doing things. He's around, man. The guy never sleeps. He's always asking me to do shit with him. But yeah, you'll see him around GTA 6. Don't worry about that, man. And thank you for subscribing last week, because I remember when he was on for the first time last week, he subscribed, and here he is. And I thanked you in the chat. I was in the chat at the time, not on the show. But anyway, let's get back, though, to, as we were saying, because that threw us off a little bit. So do you think Josh will stick with what's it called? With Gertner? Did you hear what I said there, Brando?
Oh, so you think there's going to be a split between Gertner and Big Money?
Do you think there could be a split between them two?
Again, like, all possibilities are open. It's just, me personally, I'm not seeing that right now. I could definitely see it happening down the line, potentially, but right now, I'm just not seeing it.
Right. Eventually it will happen, because that's just what happens with shit. But, I don't know. I don't think, is the guy a good promo, you think, Josh Bishop? I haven't seen enough to really, like, analyze him in his promo game, because if he can talk, then does he really need Gertner?
I don't know. That's a good question, because there have been some great promo, like, perfect example I can give you right now. Trick Williams. Trick Williams is charismatic. He can cut a promo, but he has Lil Yachty right now as his hype man do most of the talking for him, which I think that dynamic works great, because basically, like, Lil Yachty does most of the talking for him, but when Trick has something he has to say, that puts a little bit more punch to it, and he can still talk.
Right, it's kind of like the Hangman and Brock Lesnar sort of, dealio, because Brock can talk if he wants, but Hangman is the perfect fall to him, though. But yeah, the little Yachty and the Trick thing, it just works. Them two just suit each other anyway, and it's not like he needs him. It's just they're funny together too. They play off each other really well. But anyway, happy 4th of July to you too, GTA 6 Mark.
Whoop, whoop, America! Fuck yeah!
As I was saying, I said at the start of the show, I was saying again, happy 4th of July to everyone in the good old US of A. But in saying that, let's get back to the show, shall we? Because after we see a blast from the past, blast from the past. That stays in my head all the time. We go to Vince Russo, saying how he wonders if it would be easier to work in an insane asylum.
Can I pump the brakes here a little bit?
Yeah.
The haters in that blast from the past, those were actually one of the names they went by. Some of the names they went by was the Nigerian Knife Bears, most notably the I forgot the name. Yeah, as soon as I say they're most notably known for, I can forget the name. The Headhunters.
What?
Yeah, those are the Headhunters.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, there you go. Something I learn every day. Something new I learn every day. I didn't know that. I don't touch on the blast from the past because it's a blast from the past. I mean, what was it to say about that? It's just a thing. But thanks for telling me that, man. That's just something I learn every day. But anyway, back to Russo though. He goes, it would be easier to work in an insane asylum than to run JCW. Russo then goes up to Jeeves and complains about him being there. He goes on to say, what is he doing here? As Jeeves says, he's doing stuff on EC3's behalf and Violent J's behalf. And Jeeves says he doesn't have time for this and says EC3 will be back. As Russo says he can't wait and calls him a mark. I mean, shit. But then we see Sally coming out to talk. He says that he's the pride of the Luciano Familia, and he says he'll make Vito very proud. He says he wants to kick Joey 2 times and Yabbo's ass, which is the same person, by the way, and tells him to come out. Yabbo then comes out and lariats him into the ring. Yabbo then hits a mounted shots to the head, and then we see Yabbo again with a lariat. And then we see Big Vito Vincenzo escape the locker room. As they come out, we see Vito Vincenzo then pound on Yabbo. Vito does another lariat, puts him down, then he does the mounted shots on top. Vito grabs handcuffs, and the JWO then come out of Violent J, Too Tough Tony and Willie Mack. They come out and beat up Vito's crew, which always seems to happen to poor Vito. Vito's then handcuffed to the ropes, and then Tony pounds on Vito. But then we see Willie Mack low blowing Vincenzo, and then punches Vincenzo while he's handcuffed, which is that's not nice. But again, they beat up Vinny's crew, and they're pretty much beating him up all the way up the aisle. And what can I say? They got beat up, dude. But then, though, I'll get to your thoughts on that in a moment because I want to quickly say this. We see Big L going up to Hokane and a weird shrine. As she pulls a head cover off of her, Hokane shoves some kind of towel in the face.
Honestly, sure. I think the symbology there of that head veil, I think that's more of a bridal veil. I think the symbology there because she wants to be the wife of Hokane, so that's why she got a shrine of cocaine and she's wearing a bridal veil and praying to it.
She's too much of a Hokane, though. That's the problem. Wouldn't it be funny if she was cocaina instead? So you got cocaine and cocaina, because Hokane, makes her seem like a bit of a slut. She's a hoe. She's a Hokane.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the character and story is like she's upset, like she's in love and obsessed with cocaine.
Right. Well, like Jeff said, she was singing going to the chapel and going to get married.
And she ad-libbed that. She straight up, from what I understand, she straight up ad-libbed that. That was all on her.
She was singing the actual song and we're going to get married.
Yes, that was what, from what I understand, that was on her. She completely ad-libbed that herself.
Is that true, Jeff? Is that true? If that's true, that's cool. But I never picked up on that. That's pretty interesting. That's actually really cool. Now that the song's in my head, God damn it. But what happens to Big Al here? Is she going to be kidnapped? Is this where Cocaine now goes after Hokane to get Big Al? Does Big Al and what's it called and Cocaine end up hooking up?
We'll have to find out next week in the coming weeks, but that is that's one hell of a cliffhanger. We have Big Al showing up to confront Hokane at the shrine, and then she pulls a swerve and chloroforms her and puts her out.
Does that work?
So we end the show with Big Al in Hokane's clutches. Like seriously, like this is good. Like this is good episodic storytelling.
And that's what this episode was mainly all about. It wasn't about the matches. It was all about moving forward with the storylines. And that's awesome because you don't need 5 matches, 6 matches. You could actually tell a story 1 week of the show on the show. Like, you know what I mean? That's what WWE and AEW failed to do every week.
I mean this in the best way possible. I definitely mean this in the best way possible. In my single-digit years, I grew up as a kid in the early '90s, and one of the big things I grew up on was the Power Rangers. And there were times, even though their main formula was like self-contained monster of the week episodes, there would be times where they'd have longer arcs, multi-part episodes that let's go back. It's actually reminded of there's a story going on here. There's characters involved. Absolutely. That's kind of what this felt like.
Absolutely, man. And that's the love about it. That's what I love about the show, man, in general, is the storytelling. And that's the thing I missed about Vince Russo and his style of storytelling, because no other writer in professional wrestling knows how to do that. It's like a long-lost art these days.
Yeah, JCW more than anybody has recap, and when it comes to professional weekly episodic TV storytelling, Vince Russo, Violent J, JCW have captured that better than anybody. Like watching Lunacy feels like watching wrestling back in the day when I first got excited and enjoyed it. The characters, the stories, wanting to tune in next week to see where this goes.
Absolutely. And a lot of people actually make that, They always talk about, if you look in the comments of the shows, they think of it like it's the Attitude Era all over again, But you know what? It's not even as raunchy as the Attitude Era was. They don't have to even take it to that level, And it's still better storytelling, because back then it was very quick. A lot of things were happening really quickly, Is the dog back there again? Is the dog barking?
No, that's actually fireworks.
Oh, I can't even hear it. So you don't need to. I know you're what do you call it? You're pressing the mute button, but I don't think I can hear it anyway, dude. So it's all good. But in saying that, Brando, I think we can take it home. We did 2 hours. Wow. Again, I think our last 3 shows have been great, actually, in my opinion. So if you haven't checked them out, go and check them out. Especially, I don't want to do it to you right now, or should I? Should I be doing it now? I better not do You know, I told you, the only time that happens, Brando, is if I am, well, I can't find it now. God damn it. You know, actually, I did find it. There it is. Oh, no. It's only because it's the 4th of July. We're going to let this one pass. Oh, shit. Ah, shit. It's Das Brandon Kid. Oh, man. That shit was hilarious when he first did it. It's still hilarious now. That shit was...
Ooh, big bratwurst.
Sorry, who'd you say, Brandon?
Ooh, big bratwurst.
Oh, Vanderveld. Which means wonderful, in case no one understands. MSG is not going to be happy. No, he's not. It was fucking hilarious when he was.
Well, he's not here right now. He's having fun tonight.
Screw you, MSG. No, we love you, bro. It's all good. I laugh if he's listening, but still. But yeah, that was hilarious. But he's saying that. Let's take it home, Brandon. But before we do that, if you had to give the show, out of 5, I mean, face slaps, what would it be?
4.5. 4.5 out of 5. Seriously, like, as good as Lunacy got when Vince first started taking over, where from that first period when he first started taking over to the last month. The last month has been a completely different level. Like,
yeah, it really has. That's true. Which is crazy, dude. Like, it really has. Like, they've picked it up like completely. Like,
it just like there's never any resting on their laurels. It's okay. Next level. Next level. Next level. Next level. Next level. How do we keep making this better and get better?
It's true, man. It's true, and that's what I feel like. The more Vince is going like every week more, he's getting into full swing of things now. I think right now he understands who everyone is, what everyone does, and what everyone's going to do, moving forward in terms of story. And now you see a more robust, complete show, which is amazing to see because it's not one of the big friggin' feds doing it. It's JCW doing it. And a lot of those feds can learn a thing or two from JCW.
Dude, no joke. When I was listening to the EC3 show earlier today, they're like Vince and EC3 are talking about how when he got there, the talent was a little bit apprehensive of like his approach, but then once they got it, they were like, he talks about how he gets there and how the talent is excited and giddy to actually, we're actually doing storylines and angles and character development instead of just, okay, so you're wrestling tonight.
See what I mean, dude? But it does come across. Look, I don't know because we're not there, but I'm sure Jeff would, can vouch. And by looking when he was back there, it just looks like a happy environment. Everyone seems happy to be there and not miserable like you see with other companies. And that's refreshing in itself, man. You don't need that negative bullshit. I'm sure there's some negative dances in the company because they're just miserable anyway. But
at least the on-air vibes we're getting. It seems like everybody is just keyed in, locked in, and just having fun, playing their characters and doing what they need to do and getting the shit over and putting on a good show.
100% agree with you, man. And that's what makes this show great. But in saying that, Brandon, tell them what you've got going. I don't know if you're still going to go tonight. I'm sure you will. And what you got going during the week.
All right. Tonight, probably about the next 8 to 10 minutes, we'll be doing at this point, a AAA replay watch along because that went off here about 20 minutes ago ish.
Sorry about that. Shit.
That's all good. And then Not completely sure yet, but I might do a Twitch stream afterwards. Not 100% sure yet, but I do have the next 3 days off, so.
Oh, cool.
It's a potentially a shorter stream. I don't know. Again, I'll have to play by ear and see how I'm feeling after doing AAA. And then tomorrow. And then tomorrow, of course, we got The Wreckage.
Oh, yeah.
With yourself.
Hey. Yeah. I'll make the comeback again this week. After last week, I was just producing because I was sick as a dog. Still a little bit sick, but I'm back.
And then later that evening, HMG After Dark. Not 100% sure what we're going to be doing for that because we've been doing a lot of, in the last few weeks for HMG After Dark, we've been doing watch-alongs of the Godfather and Rocky movies. And I'm kind of thinking probably throw in like a little bit of palate cleanse to a comedy. Not quite sure which comedy yet, but if I don't find out with one, the working plan is a Goodfellas watch along. So if
Oh, dude, what a movie! Have you actually watched that movie?
No, I have not.
Oh, bro, you're gonna. If you love The Godfather and all that, and I know you love The Godfather too, because I saw what you said.
Both movies are amazing. Both movies are amazing. Like, holy shit, De Niro's performance. Like, the way he slowly transforms into Marlon Brando's Vito throughout the movie was amazing.
Oh, no, for sure, dude. Bro, like, well, if you love those, this is 100 times, in my opinion, way better, bro. You're going to love this one. Put it that way. So I'm looking forward to you doing that. Maybe I'll join you on that. I'm not sure.
Lab Rat, no joke. As a shoot, Major Payne is one. If I do a comedy, that is one of like the top choices. Is Major Payne.
I was in that in years, bro.
Let me. I hurting here. Give me a hand. Let me show you a little trick to take your mind off the pain. Give me a pinky now. You might feel a little bit of pressure.
I was gonna say fucking where is it? Since you're watching you said Goodfellas, right? That's what you're gonna watch?
Yeah, if I don't come up with a comedy, it'll be Goodfellas. But in a weird way, I've also kind of like, there's one movie I thought of like it'd be a good action/comedy that I haven't seen in years, but it would be a good one. And you'll know what I mean when I say this. Demolition Man.
Oh yeah.
Sylvester Stallone, Wesley Snipes. Whoop whoop.
You got to do The Great Outdoors, like I told you, though, dude. If you want a comedy and you want to laugh your ass off, please watch The Great Outdoors with John Candy. You're going to piss yourself laughing, bro. You have to watch that, man, because I know you'll love that movie 100%. But this is where the famous laugh, you're going to hear this. That laugh you're hearing in the background, that's from the Goodfellas, man. That's a famous meme of a laugh with Ray Liotta, Joe Pesci, and everyone.
Okay, I think I know that meme you're talking about. The one where it's like the two dudes, like one guy says something and the guy goes, ah,
yeah,
and there goes my headset.
But yeah, you'll know when you see it. Scotty Woodford says Idiocracy is a good comedy. I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah, and also actually a modernly relevant one as well.
Oh, interesting. Grill says Rocky 5, please. That's not one of the better ones though, bro, but for sure it's still not bad.
I haven't seen Rocky 5, but I've heard nothing but I've heard outside of Gross, I've heard nothing but bad things about it. Yeah, but I know it has a few good lines in it, like, hey, I didn't hear no bell.
Like you did I can't do the fucking Sylvester Stallone in Rocky, but the way you did it was perfect because he sounds almost like kind of retarded from all the punches in the head.
Punch drunk.
Yeah. I mean, shit. But Idiocracy is very good, apparently, according to Dan. I don't know if I've watched that or not, but it seems like a real promising watch along with Brando, that's for sure. Also, I don't know if you're going to mention this, but if you haven't, I'll do it for you because I'll return the favor. But if you love Drew Carey, get into the Drew Attack, also known as the Impact Attack, where Brandon and the Vet talk all things Drew Carey. And apparently, is there something called Impact you talk about, or is that just bullshit?
Yeah, I think there's a little company out there called TNA where, like, yeah, we kind of talk about a little bit about that during our Drew Carey show reviews.
Oh, interesting. Because I thought it's not a wrestling show apparently, but apparently it is. I don't know, but you got to tune in to Impact Attack every week, 9:30 p.m. Eastern on your Monday nights during Raw, of course, right here on Heavy Media Group's YouTube channel. And also, was there anything else I was going to say? Nah, just look out for the wreckage. And this week in WWE with myself, the Vet, and of course the Professor, and also with me and RBV for this week in WWE, and Insanity next week right here on Heavy Media Group's YouTube channel. And before we leave, we got evidence of who done it. I'm just saying, thank you, Brandon, for doing your little research and bringing us the evidence of Mr. Big Vito killing his brother-in-law. We'll find out. But in saying that, love you all. Happy 4th of July. Thank you for joining us. Till next time, peace out, much love, and we're out. Peace.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
No presence, you ain't even a peasant. If you don't always, have you ever meant shit? You ain't there to reminisce. You ain't somebody that anyone miss. You ain't in hell or eternal bliss. If you don't always, did you ever exist?
I'll always love being insane, splashing in the acid rain, but naked while it lasts. Asking who the fuck are you? I'd rather be myself, and that I'll do while it lasts. And all my ninjas off the chain will remain mashing against the grain while it lasts. And I love how you hate the shit I do, and while it lasts, the shit I'll continue.
Falling down the hourglass. Enjoy that living, cause this shit don't last. There's only one future and it's coming on fast. And you're nothing, fuck your irrelevant past.
And I'm gonna keep world traveling, spreading this clown love to her and